Alright, we're gonna do something kind of like how we did it yesterday. I am sick, so I'ma just play a VOD that I watched a couple months ago. I think it was about a month ago actually. Oh no, I'm looking at the dates. It was 2 weeks ago. Whatever. Either way, it's a good little VOD. Here we go.
It's good, yeah.
Hope you guys enjoy.
Doing well, bro. One more minute. Some people are joining. Okay. I'm gonna screen share. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna brainstorm with you guys for the first 2 minutes, and I'm gonna add a bunch because I already know a bunch, but I want to see if any of you guys can come up with a few others, and I'm going to add it to the list if I genuinely feel like it is a common fighting mistake that I feel like you make. And so this is 1v1s and 2v2s in tournaments. Okay, so this is what I would like highly prioritize because I know a lot of you guys are in tournaments right now. So yeah. So I'm just gonna write a few things down and I'm gonna look at chat to get the rest. But lack of high walls plus low walls. So low walls is something that is not actually talked about a lot, but I'll talk about it in a second. What else? No beam at the beginning of a fight. Choosing fights that are not ideal for this context of the turn. Context. Yeah, advantage, exactly. Oh yeah. The ability to find counter damage. So we'll talk about all of these things, and like I'll load up the game and stuff, so I can go into like a creative map and just talk about it. Because I think the counter damage one is actually a really important one, so I'm just gonna put it at the top. I'm gonna put these at the top. Everything else is not as important so far. Jumping in boxes while fighting. I think we're in a meta where jumping in boxes to end a fight or get a kill is really important, but it's important when to do it. Especially in 2v2s, it becomes a little bit more complicated. If one of the enemies is pretty low, then knowing to jump, like, it's really contextual on when you want to jump in. Surge. I think the biggest thing, guys, if you really think about it, is knowing how to defensively fight, which is really related to this, right? Knowing how to defensively fight. No one to leave or take flight. Did it just start? Yeah. Putting pressure. Yeah, that's true. How to on offense. I think we have enough to talk about for now. So this will be useful. So this is for vertical fighting or when people box up defensively but miss a wall. So this is for the low wall part. I'll explain all of this. It's a bit confusing now, but I'll explain all of this. I think it should be like this. This is a sub point for that. Yeah, these are more important. So let's just talk about the top part right here. Okay. So I'm just gonna load up into like random map. Make sure it's on east. For the lowest ping, and then we'll talk about all of this. Oops. Does anyone have anything else to add? So Aston fighting, what should I do? I mean, it's a very general question. I think what you should be asking yourself is why are you bad at fighting? And then fix those things. Does that make sense? Okay, so the ability to find counter damage, guys, is purely based off of timing. So let's say you have like a, I'm going to talk about it in like a 2v1 context. Let's say you have like a 2x1 here and both your people are just waiting. And then this guy comes along from above, because this is usually what they do. And they try to push like this. So it's really important to know the timings of when you should edit. And a lot of people do it too late. So what I mean by that is, I think the best time to edit whenever you're looking for counter damage is relatively early on. So for example, when they start pickaxing or spraying, this is where you decisively need to just go for the edit. You don't want to fall into the trap. Let me open paint here, because I think this is really important. If you guys have not seen this before, this is good for you. If you have, then it's good reinforcement. So let's say this is the timeline. And then let's say this is their first pickaxe. And then this is their second pickaxe if they're double pickaxing. Now I'm going to draw a different timeline. Okay. Let's say this is their first pickaxe, their shotgun crosshair, right? And then there's second pickaxe. So this is shotgun, this is pickaxe, this is pickaxe, this is pickaxe and pickaxe. And the reason why I'm showing you guys this is people often open up with their first pickaxe. It's very rare they just like sit there and hold shotgun. Sometimes they'll do like a fake pickaxe. They'll do like this, right? They'll be like up here and they'll do this to try to bait you to edit. But that's not as common as you think. Most of the time when people set this up, they feel like they're really fast, right? So then they just go for the pickaxe. Now, in order for them to get the wall, if they're quick enough, it'll take 2 to 3 pickaxes. So most of the time 2, if they're quick enough, right? Because a fresh brick wall, right, takes 2 pickaxes. 108, right? So 1, 2, and then I got it. So what you want to do is you want to edit right here. This is your counter shot timing. If you go too late and you edit here, you may fall under the trap. It might work if they're double pickaxing, but you might fall under the trap of getting shotgun, because sometimes people do this. They do this. Right? Other times they'll do just double swing. But you see the commonality of pickaxe at the beginning, which is usually it's like 95% of the time that's what they'll do. Another common thing that they'll do is they'll spray your wall. If they're spraying your wall and you don't see them spraying you, there's a distinction, right? First option is spraying wall, right? And you can see them trying to take the wall. Second option is spraying you. This is where you have to make the decision on, can you handle getting sprayed for a counter shot? Are you healthy enough for that? Like if you're 150, I think you're healthy enough for that, right? You might outtrade them if they're spraying you. If you're not healthy, but you notice they're going for your wall, it might be worth it to edit really, really early and try to go for the counter shot. Does that make sense, guys? I'm recording, yeah. I'm recording. This is all very important, and that basically just covers it, because like, well, there's only 2 ways someone can take your wall, which is pickaxing, right? And these are the 2 ways that they would pickaxe. So then you need to edit here before the first pickaxe, right? Edit early. Even the problem with editing here is sometimes they can still grab your wall if you edit, you know, not from above, but let's say they're dino box heading from here. They can still grab your wall if you edit, and then like they flick down onto the hard piece right here. So this isn't even good. Like low-key, both of them suck, because here you get shotgun, here they might take your wall, but here they can't take your wall. You see? So it's really important you just edit early if you're going for counter shots. And the best part is your wall will be weak after, but what you're gonna do is something like, and just like expand after. expanding most of the time is better than replacing your own wall, because like yes, your wall is gonna be weak after the edit, but yeah. Okay. Let's see. How to finish fights fast. How do I fight with bad FPS? I mean, fight with bad FPS is tough. Honestly, it depends on how bad you are. Or like how bad your FPS is. What if they pickaxe an instant swing to shotgun? What do you mean, like a fake pickaxe? Are you talking about like if they literally pickaxe so super fast? Like this? Exactly, that's an option. But it doesn't happen that commonly. It is something you have to look out for. So when you go for your counter shot, you're not just going for your counter shot and shooting. You're going for your counter shot and you're watching them the entire time. Like you should be able to do this move without thinking or focusing on it, because you're so mechanically adept at that, so that your brain still has space to focus on what's in front of you, so that if you see them doing the fake pickaxe, you edit and just early reset. And then when they shoot, you can edit again, because you have shotgun cooldown advantage over them. You know what I mean? So that, like, you should be able to pay attention and see the fake pickaxe and then cancel your play, because it doesn't work against the fake pickaxe. But most of the time, if you edit here, it will work. And just know that after you edit and reset, your wall's gonna be weak. You either have to replace it or you just need to leave and go into a new box. The biggest problem that happens in duos, in my opinion, in 2v2s, is people get too lost for space. Now, you don't want to expand like expand like all this. Like it's too much, right? But you never want to go sub 2 boxes. Even 2 boxes might be little. Like 3 boxes that are yours and no walls are taken, that's probably a good medium to just sit on. How do we get at pre-boxing someone? I will talk about this idea as well. In 2v2s, most of the time, you guys know this, the duo that's on the offense is looking for some sort of pinch. And the reason they do that is because if both, like me and my teammate are here, they can just expand back there forever. And there's no pressure. But if I'm here and my teammate's over there, then they can't really expand. And we're constricting them for space, which allows us to eventually overwhelm them, right? Because they can't go that way and they can't come this way. And I don't even think they can go that way because their teammate's ready, right? So like having some sort of pinch like that allows you to constrict their space. But the problem, the con, is the duo on the inside, if they notice you're going for a pinch, should just look for a quick dead on the solo, because the other teammate's pretty far. So then that's where you do stuff like this, right? And you try to like full box them like that. And then like you communicate to your teammate like, hey, we need to go for this guy right here, right? So then you just go for like a full box on him, right? So like, and you need to just quick dead him. And if it doesn't work in the first 2 seconds, that's when you just back off, right? And that's another thing, is like, if you're doing the pinch on the offense, you need to understand that that's your weakness and be ready for that. If you see them jumping out, you need to run. You need to get out. You need to hold your own as a solo so that you don't die, so that you can pinch properly. Because not pinching is not right either. Not pinching leads to like a waste of time, because they'll just expand forever. Right? So, really important, guys. Any questions about everything I've said so far? Okay, cool. So that's this. I think editing early is really good. There's also the idea that I call it the priority shot. Basically, like when someone, let's say this is the box that I'm aggressing. Let's just use a 1v1 example, right? Let's say someone's in this box and I'm setting up a diagonal box fight so I can actually fight them properly. And I put a wall down. When I see this as the defensive player, what I'm doing is I'm just gonna edit and just like hold the angle. I'm just gonna hold the angle. Like I'm just gonna edit and just like try to catch them, because if they edit after mine, then my shotgun will be out first. I can shoot reset before they can even shoot. Right? It's kind of like this. If I just quickly show you on a new timeline, right? Let's suppose red represents enemy, black represents me, right? So if the 2 walls are like this is my wall and this is their wall, and I edit first, my shotgun will start coming out here. Their shotgun will start coming out here. So then I shoot when my shotgun's done, and I reset right away, and then their shotgun comes out, but there's nothing to shoot. So because whenever you have this situation where both walls are closed, like my wall's closed and his is closed, try to edit early. The only thing you have to watch out for is the whole reason I placed this floor here is if they're sitting on a cone, they can do some weird peek on you. Like let's say you edit like that, right? Which is the most common edit. This peek is here. So just watch out for that. But again, this is all very like advanced. Like most people don't do this, but anyone I've taught ends up doing this a lot. So watch out for that. Now, how do you get out of the situation if they're holding an angle? Like you do this, but let's say there's a floor. You need to lean to the left, and you have a right hand like this, and then they have to reset because you have a right hand. And then once they reset, the wall's weak. You one tap in and fight. It sounds like a lot, but if you practice this enough and it becomes second nature, this is really how pros fight.
So
it all becomes subconscious to them.
So fucking helpful. Like it's,
if I full box, I'm so scared to edit on him because I'm always thinking I'm losing.
This shit is so high level. I love this shit. This is why I want to be a Fortnite player. Like the shit like that is just so cool to me and so fun. Way better than chess, way better than Pokemon. Just like setting up attacks, understanding where your weaknesses are. Oh, if this is a pinch, your weakness is you can get 1v2'd because they're gonna try to quick dead you. Like all that shit is just so fun to like think about and like strategize with. So yeah, this is a good VOD. Now back to the video.
Is the wall. I feel like people need to get used to timed edits more. So let's say you full box someone, right? Right? Don't be so worried about the peak. Like let's say they pump your wall. Let's say it's weak, right? And they pump it, but you get it. Just edit shoot because you get shock and cooldown. You need to abuse shock and cooldown where they're looking more than peaks. Like peaks is an addition. It's something to take advantage of, and you can do half peaks too for the, like some speed. Like you're not so worried about doing this because this is slow. But like if they make a mistake, like they pump your wall and you got it, you just need to edit on them right away. Just do this fast, right? Speed matters, not because you're trying to surprise your enemy, but it needs to be fast to take advantage of whatever just happened. So like if you have shock and cooldown on them because they pumped your wall and they didn't get it, fast, right? If they start looking the other way, if you notice them like holding shock in here and they start looking here, you need to edit fast, right? So don't worry about peaks so much. Just be quick. You can still do a peak, but you don't need to worry so much about being perfect about it. The only time you need to worry about being perfect about it is if you notice them just staring at you with their shotgun, ready to shoot. At that point, this is what beats them. And you're not worried about speed then because they're sitting here waiting for you, which means there's no urgency on your end. You don't need to rush it. Does that make sense? Like if they're sitting there in your full box with shotgun out, not threatening to pickaxe any wall to like get out, you have all the time in the world. And if you have all the time in the world and they're crosshairing you, what beats it? Peek. It's kind of like a game of rock, paper, scissors. If they're rushing out, you don't need a peek. So you need to use what counters that. And if they're not rushing out, you need to use what counters that because you have time on your side. Make sense? So pay attention to what they're doing. Because a lot of people just peek all the time, which is wrong. And a lot of people wide edit all the time, which is wrong. It's contextual based on what you're looking at. Okay? So let's talk about this real quick. I think a lot of people don't use high walls enough. I think high walls are stupidly OP. Alright, because you can chain them into everything. I mean, the biggest thing that it gives you is, I mean, two things. Protectiveness, right? Like, you can protect yourself really well from people above you. That's how you should retake it, use high walls. But it also gives you options to piece. Right? So a lot of people seem to think that, like, piece comes from, like, coning people. But, like, what it starts from is getting this high wall. Then the high wall gives you the edit privilege, and then you can piece people. So getting high walls is really important. Because that's what leads into the next piece. So the high walls is good. Now low walls is not really a term that people talk about, but you have to notice this, guys. Look how far I can reach. As soon as I start dropping, the wall place is pretty fast. Do you see this? Look how fast this wall places. Before I'm not even in the tile, and I can still place that low wall. Do you see this? So make sense? If you're being pressured, just safely hit counter damage and make more space to heal. When I'm fighting, I expand, and they still end up pressuring me well. So expanding is bad for me for some reason. How do I notice my fighting problems? I mean, expanding. Listen, expanding forever doesn't do damage. Thoughts? Expanding is done so you get another opportunity to counter shot. Eventually, you do need to take the counter shot. If you expand forever, you're not doing this forever to like every time you make a new box, that is a new opportunity for you to edit early on their counter shot, on their approach, right? And if you miss the opportunity to edit because they already got their first pickaxe down, right? So they pickaxe your wall super weak. I'm scared to edit now, maybe because they heard a shotgun or they seem prepared. Then I just expand one more time, and then when they come to my wall again, whether it's through here, or here, then I'm ready to counter shot again. Yes, you can pop a mini while you wait, but then as soon as they get there, you want to counter shot. Okay. How do I pressure correctly? I think it depends on the situation, but I think a lot of people do not use their gun enough. It's really hard for someone to peacefully start healing like this if someone starts spraying like that. Even if they don't actually take the wall. And here's another thing that I keep saying. A lot of people spray this and kill the wall, and then like the wall's like high HP. What you should do is like leave it low enough to where by the time you get into range to replace, you can do that. Like, you see how I paced myself? I'm not gonna kill that wall. I'm gonna kill it here so I can actually have a wall take attempt as well. Right? Because a lot of people will just kill the wall because they think it's pressuring, but you're just losing ammo. Like, unless that guy's 1 HP and you're trying to get a bleed through damage on with your SMG, like, fine. But like, I really want you to think of like just leaving it weak so that you can take it from here. Like, once you're in range, you're actually grabbing it. Another example of this is like here. Let's say I'm really high up. You see how I can pressure from above and then grab it? Like, I'm gonna weaken it before I get to the slot, and then as I'm pouncing, I kill the wall. Like that, and then, right? And now I got it. And it's really unexpected for them because all they see from inside the box is some spray. They don't see anything else. They don't know you're about to pounce. Right? So you have to be really careful sometimes because burst SMG you can cancel, so don't fight more than 1 minute equals third party. That is something that I think you have to be able to see from before you take the fight. That's why, like, knowing the beam, the distance, how much you can jump in, that sort of thing matters. How to avoid getting pre-fire when peanut butter editing? Make sure you're tucked away if they're looking at you. I mean, the biggest thing that getting shot when you're making a peek is to notice whether they're looking at you with the shotgun out. If they're not looking at you with the shotgun out, then you can edit for free. Okay, how do you end the fight? Like, quick 100 minutes. I don't think you can end any fight in 1 minute unless you're really good at fighting. I think it's better to know yourself and try to pick fights. Like, you need to be really good at evaluating fights. But my problem with most people is they cannot admit to themselves that they're really bad at picking good fights. Like, you have to admit to yourself that you're not that good at evaluating fights, which is why I think this is more important than anything else. Where is it? What? Yeah, this. Because most tournament formats nowadays are just, what do you call it? Placement. So why are we fighting? You know? And so, doesn't mean you don't need to know how to fight. You need to know how to fight defensively or keep yourself safe or keep people far away from you. But, like, why are we concerned with that? Look, BloodX played NA Cashco and qualified on 100 ping. So if your goal is to qualify and your goal is not to just waste time fighting, then I don't, you know? You see what I'm saying? Why are you concerned with offensively fighting? Yeah, I agree. I think keeping yourself alive is most important. I just want to fight because all pros do it. Yeah, I don't know how to respond to that. I think I think it's a joke. I think he's literally rage baiting me. Look, I mean, okay, look. I know, but like, why don't people? Why are people like? Can you guys admit to yourself you don't actually want to call? If you can do that and you just say like, oh, I kind of casually play dual cash cup for fighting reasons, that I'm okay with. But my problem comes from when people say I want to be a pro, but I also just can't discipline myself to not fight. That's my problem. Because they're just contradicting. Should I key first game? No, I don't. No, I don't think you should. I think Bolts is saying that. He's projecting his own fighting skill on everyone else. I don't think you should key first game. Yo, BloodX qualified with 25 kills. He's 30 years old. Hello? On a 100 ping region. 20 points over 10 games of kills. Why is it such a stigma to have kills? Because I don't think it like it doesn't help you. You'll like the first time you actually try to place with endgame, and now look, I'm not saying endgame's easy. I'm just saying you're gonna learn something that's actually useful long term by focusing on endgame. Like you may not qualify by playing no kills, but you'll learn what's actually important. No, but you see what I'm saying? Like everyone's just playing for their friend's opinion. Am I not wrong? Like you guys aren't playing to qualify or go pro. Just admit it. Like you're playing for validation of your friend's opinion. It's crazy. Once you qualify, you can W key. Yeah, but like there's no world where you're qualifying by accident and do a cash cup. Like early. If you qualify in solo cash cup, yeah, I think you can do that early. Like, you guys realize what's happening here, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. I think in fighting, I think you should just literally learn how to counter shot, AR to keep people away. Like, if you're sitting on top of a hill, right, and you're just waiting, you AR to keep people away. If you don't want to even be seen, you do what I call a fake box. So you sit in a box even with your duo teammate. You sit in the top cone, he sits in the bomb cone, and you just wait. This is usually what you do when you have really good mats and really good loot, and that's it. How does someone like Vico win a fight even with 100 HP less? It's way too general. I can't answer that. I mean, like, show me a fight, you know? Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about with common fighting mistakes is I think people don't know how to jump into a box to finish a fight properly. So there's two main ways to do this, okay? Now, you don't want to get to the box where the wall's already healthy. So you weaken it when you get there, and then you can, like, do something like this. Now, it's really important. People make this mistake all the time when they're jumping in. They jump in diagonally. But you want to, like, you can do, like, a little L shape. Like, you can run in, and you want to run in head first when you break in. Right? Obviously, you want to hit the critical as well. Like that. You see how I'm jumping into my movement. I'm not doing this. This doesn't work that well. And when you do jump in, your main priority after you jump in, and the reason why you're jumping in, by the way, is because the guy's super low. So you want to end it quickly before he expands and wastes a bunch of your time. Or retakes height or whatever. So you jump in, and you sit here. Right? You sit really close to him. Why? Because the first thing the enemy's going to do is flip their cone like this. And so when they do that, you want to be super close to them. So that they can't split you up. They're panicking, editing and stuff, because they're 1 HP or really low, and they know they can't win any fight, so they're trying to get away. If you hug them, and a lot of people think I just mean like go to the back of the block. No, that's not good enough. If they're in this corner, don't just go sit here, because this will separate you. And then they'll double edit down and leave. You need to get in their face. Trust me, if you're jumping in, and you're jumping in at the right time, meaning it's when they're low, you're going to win the fight. So what are we scared of? Like, don't worry that getting too close makes it really hard to aim. You're gonna win. Just like, if they're in this corner, I need you to be here. So that this literally brings you with them. You're following them at all costs while hitting them with their gun. And you're not gonna stop shooting. Is it smart to jump in without the stair if you don't expect it? You can totally phase in without a stair. I think it's not as easy. So it does depend. What about getting pre-fired? That's where you have to look at what they're doing before you jump in. If they're just sitting like this, right? Then yeah, then I would probably take the wall then, you know? This is where you need to pay attention. Like, a lot of people think fighting is just like running some sort of protocol or some sort of set of moves without looking at the opponent. No, fighting is reacting to what your opponent's doing. So if they're healing and like maybe their back is to you or they're looking this way, then yes, you want to jump in, right? If they have a heal out. But as you're approaching, you literally see them as you're approaching. Like, they switch to their shotgun just staring at you. Then I might, you know, might do something like that instead of jumping in, even if they're low, because they're waiting for me. So you need to pay attention. You can't not look at your opponent and expect to do the right thing. It just doesn't work like that. Okay. 2v1 situations in this. So are we talking about both perspectives, or like you want the duo or the solo, like 1v2? So you're getting key, trying to go from your draw spot to mid zone, dead side. Scrims are main land game. Oh, I see what's happening. How do I find the perfect binds to build? I think most binds are good, to be honest with you. I think a lot of people they over invest time into their binds. Is there tricks to get walls more? I think most people don't actually know. I'm gonna answer the 1v2 in a second. Most people don't actually know that they mistime walls a lot. So go into a creative match, okay? Have a friend hold a wall. And what I want you to do, if your friend's just holding the wall, is just practice taking the wall on repeat. Just do this. And what you're going to notice is if it's 50% of the time that you get it, that means you're doing it right. Like, really well. If it's less than 50%, you notice that you're not grabbing the wall 20 to 30%, or like you're only grabbing the wall 20 to 30% of the time. That means the remainder of that percentage, let's say it's 30% of the time you're grabbing it, 20% of the time you're not even doing it properly. Like, you're literally missing it. Like, you're doing it too late. It's all timing based on when your second pickaxe hits the wall. So you need to hit your wall bind specifically then and be looking at the right place. For example, this doesn't work. Do you see I'm looking at the inside of the square, but it doesn't place? Most of the time, people are doing this by accident. And they don't even realize, and then they think, oh, my ping's not good enough, so then I didn't get the wall. But no, you never attempted it. You just think you did. Same with this. See? I'm looking at the wall spot, but it's not placing. And so then when you break the wall, it seems like you tried to place the wall, but you didn't even attempt. So really make sure you go into creative and you actually just try it. If you're getting it 50% of the time, on average, approximately 50%, that means you're good. Okay. So 1v2. I think the biggest thing is 1v2.
Bro, let him cook, bro. People probably thought this shit was boring as hell. Nah, this shit is very informative. Let this boy cook.
2 is to not get into a position where they have a pinch on you. So if they're both here, good. Like, you can go for some random counter shot, whatever. But once there's one guy here, it's really, you need to get out. Like, I would not wait for a counter shot. Don't play it slow. Always keep yourself away from the middle, because that's when they'll overwhelm you. If you're in the middle, but you have a ton of space, like you're in a bunch of builds like here, that's okay. But you never want to be in a single box in the middle. If this guy's jumping in from there, pay attention and try to leave. Always get out from the side and try to go out to the side. And your goal is to, like, obviously get counter shots and then eventually. Now, here's the thing I think a lot of people do in 1v2s that I think is wrong. They play it too safe. At some point, you have to take some risk, almost even a 50-50 on a kid that's separated from his teammate, to quick dead him. And then after you quick dead him, you sprint away and you go for heals. Because they can't res that guy for 10 seconds. Right? So you're good. You don't even need to get the finish if you feel pressured. Right? Like, just get the quick dead. And then, like, break out the back wall, expand, and start healing. And then if the teammate's not even close to helping, yes, you can get the finish. But you need to have that internal instinct that as soon as you get that quick dead, the teammate's probably sprinting at you. Because in their comms, it's like, yo, he's in my box. So then the teammate's sprinting at you. So, like, it's not good to jump in their box and just sit in their box, like, waiting to, like, get the finish. Knock him, get out, and then evaluate the situation again. If the teammate's really close, you obviously can't get the finish. But there's no rush to get the finish because it takes 10 seconds to res. So we can just wait. Like, we can heal because we probably took a lot of damage in that 50-50. Heal up. Now we're in a much better situation. I'd rather be in a 1v1 where I'm low than a 1v2 where everyone's full HP. Do you hear that what I said there? I think that's actually really important. That's why I think it's sometimes worth it to flip it on one guy, win that 50-50, and then be low in that one, the next 1v1. Is this recorded? Yeah. I'm stalled till the teammate comes? Yeah. I mean, that's them playing really well, so. Do you think WQ section in solo MC is still good or outdated? I haven't seen it, so I couldn't tell you. Could not tell you. They always jump in my box. Yeah, so that's where you need to be mobile. That's what I was talking about. You need to be able to expand properly and be mobile like I am right here. Right? Being able to be mobile and always expand. And I'm not doing like that because I'm literally leaning back. But like, people are really good at expanding will not have too much of trouble with 1v2s. And knowing which way to expand. So tracking both footsteps, knowing exactly where they are. Keeping a mental notepad of where, like, let's say one guy like goes this way. I may be focusing on this counter shot, but I know in 3 seconds this wall is going to be taken because I can hear it, right? So then after this counter shot, I'm just not going to stay in this box because I know this is happening, so I'm just going to leave, and I'm just going to go this way. Go again. This guy's going to come here. This guy's probably going to push from here. Counter shot, double it down because they're both above me, right? You see, like, I'm trying to stay mobile, and I'm like, every time I pause, I'm looking for, like, one counter shot, right? And eventually, depending on the situation, I might flip it on one guy. How much HP should I jump in someone's box? I think 50 or lower. It depends on the situation. Sometimes it's even worth it to jump in someone's box if they're 100. Like in the 1v2 situation I was talking about. If you're 200, one of their teammates is 100, the other one's full HP, but they're split, I'm jumping in on the 100 HP guy because I want to quick get him. Right? I'll just need to win that aim duel and then I have a 1v1. It does depend on the situation. What I would urge you to do is in non-tournament games, what the hell just happened? What? We're back. God knows what happened. I don't know what happened. It just ended. Okay, anyways, what was I saying? I was saying, what was I saying? What was the last thing I said, guys? Yeah, screen share. Thank you. I don't know what happened, to be honest with you. Jumping into box. Oh, yeah. In non-tournament games, make sure you're not you're testing that out, like practice jumping in. A lot of people, like, you know why pros have such good intuition on what's right and wrong? Because the pure volume in high quality games that they have, whether it be scrims or high ranked arena, high ranked games, the amount of volume they have on testing things and feeling the outcome. So then their intuition is developed because, like, they know what's good and bad because they just tried what's good and bad. Does that make sense? Yeah. That's it. Ranked, arena, whatever. Do all that stuff because it's good. But understand that it needs to be played differently in a tournament. No, I don't think you should key in tournaments. I really don't. Like, why? Why should you? Why should you keep? I mean, it depends. Like, if you're playing a high quality scrim, I would rather practice the end game aspect of it. I would genuinely rather practice the end game aspect. Doesn't make sense to practice fighting in a high quality scrim. Unless it's a refresh, right? Refresh is different, but I'm talking about just fighting. Oh, we could talk about refresh because I think a lot of people make refresh mistakes in endgame. Now, there's actually because it is kind of fighting related, so I'll just give you guys some pointers on that. Let's say zone's going this way, guys. Let's say zone's going this way. So let's say zone's currently here, and it's on the way here, and my box is here, right? What I see most people do is they edit this wall, right? As a duo or something, and they edit this wall, or even let's say as a solo or whatever. It doesn't matter. They edit this wall, look back, and they kill someone here, and they're focusing on shooting someone here. How in the world is this a refresh? That's a kill, my brother. That's not a refresh. What I would urge you to do is if there's like a box here, pay attention to it because he's the one who's going to have to move first when the wall gets to here, right? And they're going to have to move. And if you're ready preemptively, waiting for them to move, you might be able to catch them here, here, long range wall take here when they go like this, right? So be ready for people that are slightly behind you, and because that's actually a refresh, right? Or you could actually open this wall and start smacking, like especially as a duo, you could double smack them or whatever, and then take their wall fast. You could smack their wall and actually fight them. But lesser known, you should open this wall. This wall is super underrated. Looking forward. Why? Because when you look forward and you get a kill here and you knock somebody in a box, or you double spray a wall and you knock somebody, when you go and push that box, you're doing both good things at the same time. You're rotating forward, which buys you time, gives you tempo, but you're also getting that refresh that you collected. It's weird to rotate backwards to get a kill. If you knock someone here, what the fuck does that do? What does that do for you? Right? Look forward. Look forward or slightly behind you. Everything else is a waste of time. Like killing someone here doesn't help you. Unless it's in here, like if you're in this position, you knock someone here and then zone pulls back. That's a little bit different. But that's a niche case scenario. Most of the time when you're in the middle of zone and you pause and you're looking for a refresh, I would smack people's walls close to you. Look to take advantage of people that are close to you that are potentially about to move. And look for third parties, right? Third parties are good, right? And look in front of you. And the reason why looking in front of you and editing this wall is really useful is because think about where everyone's facing, guys. When people are rotating, everyone's facing this way. So when someone walks past your box, maybe from above, drops down or whatever, they have no clue your wall's open. When they're facing this way and they're coming from here, they see your edited wall. They know that they need to build. But when they come out this way and they see this really weird angle that you're like wall's been open behind them and they pass your box, you can pump them, you can SMG them, and they will not expect that. All right, and you knocking someone here is crazy good because then you could double tarp, you could tarp over and just both of you guys push for that refresh. How the fuck do you draw so good in paint? I don't know, it's cool. Huh? Yeah, I think it's the pencil. I used to do like this. This is so bad, right? But it also takes practice. But yeah, like just don't guys, there's a huge difference between kills and refreshes. So let's talk a little bit about height, because I think height's really useful in duo cash grip because that's the best way to win. So you should learn how to take height and stuff. But I'm only gonna talk about the refresh aspect of it because it's just fighting. So when you're on height and you're looking for stuff, don't look too far down to get a kill because that's not a refresh, right? If you're on height and zone's pulling this way, focus on spraying like floors or double spraying stuff and 3-2-1ing the same people. Focusing on the same target so that you actually have an opportunity to kill them. But focus on someone that's reachable. Like if you were to kill them, can you go and get their loot? Right? Because if the answer to that question is no, I feel like you're prioritizing the wrong things. It's probably even better to just double spray second height or whoever the threat is to take your height and get them off of you. Focusing on someone all the way down here. Like, good job. You got a knock. 1 point for you. Maybe. Like, this doesn't help your game. Right? Like, third place, second place, first place are coming up. Those are, like, crazy, crazy points. Like, 5, 7, 9 points. Like, it's crazy points. Right? But you're focusing on this. Refresh actually boosts your potential of the game. So, I do think refreshes are a little bit harder on high ground compared to mid. But high ground, if you have it established, you have the mats for it, it's pretty good. So, what if you pull apart? It's too general of a question, I think. And you run out of fizz. I mean, you still have to make the rotate, no? Learning how to rotate without fizz is important. I'll touch on this. It's not related to fighting. I think a mistake that a lot of people make, let's say you're here and zone pulls here. For some reason, people have this crazy bias to always rotate like this. They have this like crazy magnetic, I need to be on this wall. No. Like, I want you to look wide, guys. Look wide. This is one option. There's this, there's this, there's this, there's this. Look at all the options. This is usually open. And don't be scared of builds. Like, if you see a wall, don't be scared of that. Look at everything. Look at bushes too, because they could be people in them. And look at those as like potential obstacles, right? And if there's like a wall here, it's not an obstacle because no one's gonna be behind it. And actually ask yourself, where's the open space? Where can I run through that doesn't have people nearby? Most of the time, proximity is the best rotate. Like not being close to people. You also have to balance that with some LOS, but most of the time, if you're just far away from people, even if they can see you, they don't bother. Especially nowadays with no hit scan AR. Okay. I would just fight good people, Nate. Just fight good people. Just fight good people. It really helps. Okay. All right. Any last minute questions? Can we fight down, breakdown fights? I think I want to. Oh yeah, let's do that. But listen, I will not sit here and advocate for 30 or 40 bombs. I swear to God, it's something against my will, because that's just not right. Let's just look at Europe real quick, and I'm just gonna like show you like how Cammy said he fight, because they are just doing it real. They're just doing it properly, man. Oops. It's you, right? It's not you. It's bugged. This should be you now. Let's see. Is it? Or is it like still bugged? These are not you people. Okay, this is Blood X. Like, look at this shit, guys. Come on. I don't care. Look. I know. They get 90 kills. I know there's 35 kills here. Look how they behave after. Like, 4 wins and they're first place. Like, do you think this did anything? 35 points lost. Let's say they didn't key first game, okay? Let's just assume. 35 points lost. They're still third. They're still first place. They're literally still first place after minus 35 points. It didn't do anything. It's literally for fun. It's literally for fun. This could be 0 kill win and it's for fun. Where do you think the points are coming from? Guys, please. Please, guys. Like, also, the reason why this is a problem, looking at how like the top leaderboard, seeing that most people key and then thinking that that's good, it's called confirmation bias. It's like you don't see the graveyard of tier 1 pros that didn't make it because they keyed too hard because they're not in the top 50. Right? You don't see the people that didn't make it. Cammy and Yapko played. Like, this is so troll, man. They got a lot of points, to be honest with you, but I just don't think you need to. Okay, look, I don't think you need to if you have good endgame, but like, I think that's what you should strive for, anyways. Look, I think they tried to key. They tried to key here. No, did they? No, they don't. They don't try to key. They just mess up their endgame so many times. Yeah, it's not easy doing the other way either. Don't get me wrong. Like, here's the reality. Duo Cash Cup as a tournament is not easy. Regardless. It's not easy regardless. Right? I just think it's way easier to do placement. Like, let me put it this way. If you're the world's, like, best fighter, but yet you don't have endgame skill at all, you're probably not going to qualify. But if you have really bad fighting, but you have really good endgame skill, you could qualify, and you probably will if you play it properly. Solo fighting? I don't think you need to fight in solos either. Especially not solos. What? Solos is like top 10k to qual. If you just have like 2 to 3 good games, like you make it. I get flamed by my friend. I told you, Bro, motherfuckers are playing for their friend's opinion. It's insane. Why are you playing for your friend's opinion? Like, what do you mean? Yeah, exactly. Like, no, like, guys, your friends are telling you to key because that's how you qual, but they never qual. Huh? But they don't call. They don't qualify. Don't do what they're saying. I'm telling you guys, like, isn't it just a fucking numbers game? Like, just look at this. Just look at the stupid tournament details. Yeah, I mean, you look at the scoring. It's just 1 point per kill, 65 points for the placement should be enough. You know, to know that. Key on rotates, which is very. This is where the skill matters. That's hard, man. Actually, this is funny. This is funny. It's dumb because, bro, pros will tell you to key too. Like, I just don't think you need to. Yeah. Yeah. This is true. Thank you, bro. I mean, it just speaks. You know why I'm so confident with this? It's obvious to me with numbers, but like every single time I tell people to follow that, then could you show how to fight when people key on rotates? I don't think you need to like just box up. No, I mean it's too again, the situation you're describing is too hypothetical. It requires a different answer depending on what the situation is. But again, I think if you don't want to get keyed, the best thing you could do is get off the map by just hiding. Because if someone sees you, even for a split second, but then you go and hide in a bush after that, or you go and hide in a house after that, that doesn't stop them from griefing your entire game. One thing that Blood does is he sits on a hill instead of hiding in a box and just has double AR to like beat people AR wise. But that's not something that most people can do. So I just think best thing that people can do is get max mats and just go hide somewhere. Go hide somewhere it's convenient. It's not even worth it to go hide in the ocean on the edge of the map. You know why? Because it takes time to travel there. You could get keyed while you're traveling there. See how paranoid I am? So, like, as soon as you're happy with the mats that you have, you're like 3-3-5 good heals. Same with your duo partner, or in solos that's the case too. Just build a box where you are that's in zone, relatively center, and just hide in it. Like fake box it. Just do this. Do the fake box. No, I think hiding anywhere that's not a fake box is worse. Even bushes are bad. Even bushes are worse. Because bushes get shot nowadays. So let's not hide in something that gets shot and then they find where you are and then they full key you. You need to assume everyone in your lobby is stupid. It's not even an assumption. It's actually true. But like, you should know that. So then that means if they see you, they will key you. Don't be surprised when they don't. Or when they do that. Don't be shocked. You know, like the Pikachu meme? That's literally everybody. Like the shocked face. That's literally everyone. It's like you shoot someone and then they full key you and you're like, huh? I can't believe they would do that. Like, are you stupid? Like, really? Guys, they don't know how to play. They don't know how to play. Oh, especially, guys, you're like, so this is how the points work, right? Like, this is how, like, most points happen in top 10. So if you're really close to top 10, like top 14, I would make it the point to hide even if you're scuffed. A lot of people are looking for refreshes here. But you have, like, let's say you have 2 minis each, but you're full HP, but you have good mats, like you're 2-3-3, right? This looks scuffed to most people, and honestly, if you were this at this point in the game, I would be scared. I would fix it. But if you're this at this point in the game, fucking hide. You're going to get free points very soon. It's going to be top 5 by the time you have to move. Because you're close to points. Just redeem it. Redeem it. You need to evaluate the way the game goes like this. You have a lottery ticket here. You found out you've won. Right? Now you need to make your way towards where you can redeem it. Which is here. This is where you can actually get the fucking $1 million. If you're close to it, you're not going to fucking risk it. You're going to be more scared here. You should be more scared here. You actually need less loot here. Right? But if you're super far away, then yeah, you're going to spend more time getting stacked. But if you're super scuffed here, but you're good enough. Even if I was 75 HP, I would just play a little slow. Because you just need to redeem your ticket to get 50 points for fun. Right? A smart player would key if they saw a box on a reboot van in solos. I don't even know what to say. I just think we need to simplify things, guys. You're gonna do a lot better if you simplify stuff. And stick to the plan. Just because game 1 didn't work, you got 15th, the plan is still the same. It's still true that winning the next game is the best way to get points. It doesn't change. The point system didn't change for you. You know what I mean or no? Placement is so heavy. Yeah, placement is so heavy. Exactly. Well, that's the thing. That's what I was saying. You should be more and more scared after you get here. You should play more cringe when you get here. Off spawn is where you can take the risk because you haven't invested enough time to be scared of it. Dying off spawn is not bad. Dying 10 minutes into the game for 2 points is bad. Dying here is bad. Dying top 2 is not bad. Dying top 7 is bad. It's really interesting. Your risk that you're willing to take compared to the time looks like this. It's here, it tanks, and then you can maybe consider getting a refresh, right? You see how at the very beginning of the game you don't care about the risk that much because you're off spawn, you're fighting for your drop. If you die, it's okay because you just requeue. But you don't want to die here. Don't want to die here. Top 7 warrior. Yeah. Yeah. That's the end game skill, guys. I know.